This video is going to talk about how do you push apps out to your students in Apple Classroom. And so I'm going to go into my Apple Classroom and you're going to see my classroom here. And there really are two ways that I can push out applications to my students in Apple Classroom. The first and easiest way is we've got the stack of, I call it stack of paper. I click on that, that's going to pull up all of my groups and all of my students in my group and what app do I want to push out to them. And so I've got, across the top I've got recent apps, but then I can scroll through and these are all of the apps that are installed both on the teacher iPad and the student iPad. So we want to make sure that they're the same. So if you don't see an app that you want installed, we do have to make sure that the app is both on the teacher and student iPad. And so the first thing I'm going to do is, I'm going to assign everybody to Kahoot. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the Kahoot button, and then you'll notice that it opens up Kahoot, and I can see with the icon that all of my iPads that are in my group have been assigned to Kahoot, and that's great. Now, here's one of the things with this is I have a student, and I'm in Kahoot, but then they decide that they want to get back in and they want to go to IXL. So you can see that I've got one iPad, my training one iPad, is on a different app than really the rest of the class. So there's a way that we can get around that. And so the way that we do that is we can go back into our global to assign our apps. And this time down at the bottom, I'm going to do the lock-in app after opening. So I want to make sure I check that first. And I'm going to say, okay, for now, I'm going to have everybody in Seesaw, but I want them locked in there. So I'm going to now open up Seesaw and I click that lock-in app first. So now it takes it a moment, it closes out the Kahoot for everybody. I've got the app, Seesaw is open, it's locked in. Now I'm playing around on my other app and my home button doesn't work. I can't get to anything else other than Seesaw. So if you really are concerned or wanting to make sure that your students stay in the application that you've assigned to them, you would definitely want to use that lock feature to get them in there. Now, that's a global setting of how we want to do this. Now, I can also individually. So if I have students that maybe training 5 is done with their work and I want them to do something else, I can click on that individual student and I can say, okay, that student can now open up Blockly. And so then that student is on Blockly and they can then go out because I didn't do the lock of the iPad, but that student's on Blockly. iPad number 3, I'm going to have that student, I'm going to open that student up and that student is going to go, I'm going to lock them into Epic. Right, and so now they're locked in. So that's how you could open apps for your students on your Apple Classroom app, and you can see where everybody's at, either globally as a class or doing it as an individual iPad for each one.